After building and managing remote sales teams that have generated well over $100 million in revenue across hundreds of companies, I know exactly what it takes to manage a high-performing remote sales team. And in this video, I'm going to break down my exact methodology, and this means the key pillars that I focus on, the systems that I use, the tools that matter most, and how to implement them into a business so you can actually manage a remote sales team instead of them making excuses like the leads are weak. So if you're managing a remote sales team or you're about to scale one and you want to make sure that you actually get them to perform, this video is going to be extremely valuable. Let's begin. Everything begins with the foundation layer. How leads become cash. The first pillar is the growth system. At the end of the day, every business is trying to solve one problem. How do I turn leads into cash? But most companies think about sales as just closing a call. In reality, revenue is a result of 5 engines working together. The first engine is the marketing engine. This is where attention and lead generation happen through different funnels like webinar, VSL, application form. The second engine is the setting engine. This is where leads get contacted and turned into booked appointments using multiple lists within the CRM. All about speed to lead, touch density, and lead statuses. The third engine is a closing engine. This is where prospects move towards a clear path, offer, agreement, payment, supported by a follow-up system. The fourth engine is a show rate engine, because booked calls doesn't matter if people don't actually show up. And this engine focuses on confirmations, reminders, and the role of having a confirmation specialist. And this is to protect show rates. The fifth engine is a reactivation engine, because a large amount of revenue sits inside no-shows, people who haven't bought, and the leads that need to be recycled from the last 90 days. When these 5 engines are connected properly, leads move through consistently from attention to revenue. The second pillar is the tracking system, because if you can't see what's happening inside of your sales funnel, you can't actually manage it. The purpose of this pillar is really simple. It's to find out the truth in the numbers. The sales tracker, the marketing tracker, the ads tracker, and then the all-important sales manager tracker. Every week, these trackers record the key metrics across the funnel, and these things will measure everything from ad spend, leads, junk data, outbound calls, inbound calls. They look at everything, all the way down to cash collected from top of funnel to bottom of funnel. The goal is to create one universal sheet that shows the entire funnel, from ad spend all the way down to cash collected, because once you can see the full pipeline, you can manage the business like a sales manager, not like a sales trainer trying to just motivate people and not track data. The third pillar in the foundational piece is a talent launch system. It's all about having 2 different areas for this. First area is the KPIs and the job description. So exactly knowing what you want to hire for. The next thing is actually your hiring ATS system, which is a hiring board. We actually will build these for all of our clients, where we have a hiring screening board, and it goes through different phases of an application coming in all the way to being hired and all the stages across it. That will make up for a talent launch system built upon the actual KPIs that you're actually hiring for. And each role will have its own job board. Pillar number 4 is the clarity system. This is what most people actually avoid. They think that they can just hire a sales team based upon just money itself. What you need to be able to motivate your team with is the actual mission, vision, values of the business. Boring, some people might say, but if you hire people on mission, vision, and values and culture, you're going to end up scaling a sales team far better, because they'll be able to come into the business and you'll find people go from setters to closers to managers because they were the right hires from the beginning. After we've covered the foundational piece, we'll move over to the next layer of the sales leaders OS, which is the performance layer. The performance layer starts with pillar number 5, which is ramp up to the KPI. Now, most people were thinking about ramping up in terms of a checklist. I'll get my reps to just complete a checklist, and they'll go through and just complete tasks. They'll get their Google login, they'll do the production, they'll do their initial training. But we actually see it in 4 sections, which is setup, aka logins, training in 2 areas, which is product and then sales training, and then the last area, which you have production, what you expect. When you have onboarding designed to ramp up in 4 areas, you'll be able to hire reps and ramp them up far easier on a gamified system. Pillar number 6 is all about sales training. Now, this is the pillar that most people think is the most important for their sales department. They think I just need to train the reps. But we have specific frameworks that we can teach anyone to start developing their sales team with a system, a role play engine, and then we also have a process to be able to train reps in 3 layers, which is skill, identity, and process. When they can learn all 3 layers, they can actually improve systematically. Pillar number 7 is one of the most important ones that I actually consider for performance, which is meetings and accountability. Most people will have a morning meeting, but what is the structure of that meeting? That 45-minute meeting in the morning, it needs to run a certain way. Everything from telling their wins in the morning, all the way down to doing some sort of role play and drill at the end of the meeting, and how to hold them accountable to be able to get results. What is the exact words that you need to say to your team to be able to get them to perform day upon day, week upon week, to make up for the monthly target? How do you actually design a daily run rate for each rep and hold them accountable to be able to hit it? Pillar number 8 is all about leadership. And this is around having frameworks to make you better as a sales leader. If you're a CEO managing a small team, a sales manager, VP of sales, at any stage, you need to learn how to actually protect and lead your team the right way. And this is where we give you the frameworks on sales leadership. And pillar number 9, which is new leaders emerge. This is the less costly way to be able to get staff to grow within your business. Rather than just hire new talent all the time, how can you nurture your own setters and closers to progress within your business? Which is, you're hiring people one time that they can last forever. They can last for years within your business because you've built the right structure. A 7-figure business will rely on a few killers. An 8-figure business will have a progression path for all of their staff. And that makes up our Sales Leaders OS. Everything from the foundation layer, which is non-existent in most businesses, from the performance layer, which exists, which is sales training and meetings and accountability, but has no clear structure, all the way to the top of the pyramid where you can actually get people to progress. If this is something that you want to learn, if you join our free community, which is a link in the description that you're going to find, I have the biggest sales leadership community in the online space where we have over 800 members as of right now who are sales managers and CEOs who are trying to learn about sales leadership. This entire framework is broken down for you in even more depth, and you can steal some of the assets. And if you join the community, I run a monthly live where you can actually get access to me and ask me some additional questions that you might be actually constrained on in your business. So that's my complete methodology on how to manage remote sales teams. Now, if you're a business owner or sales manager and you want us to build or manage your entire remote sales team as a done-for-you service where we come in, hire the team, build a system and manage the operation so you can actually step out completely, then click on the second link in the description. We'll audit your entire current sales team setup, what's missing, and map out what we can build for you for your entire sales team within the next 90 days. Now, we've done this for over hundreds of companies who have now scaled their remote sales team to multi 7 and 8 figures. So click on the link in the description and I'll see you on the other side.